This is DJ Jaspa, and you're listening to Techtronic Sound.
You just listened to 303 Infinity's awesome song, Corinthians. Welcome to Techtronic Sound, your home for the best trance, dance, and techno music found on the web by independent artists. Today I'm joined with a great artist and a good friend, DJ Jaspa. Welcome to the show.
How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. Hey, thanks for taking your time to visit with us, especially on a Saturday.
Not a problem at all. I'm just really happy to be here.
We're going to talk with you during the show and also play a lot of the music that you have created. If you want to check out any more information about this show, you can go online at techtronicsound.com. If you want to leave a comment, say hi, or you make trance, dance, or techno music yourself, you can email them to me at techtronicsound@gmail.com. So currently you have an album out. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah, the album that I actually released about a year ago, it was pretty much a major labor of love. I mean, I've been in the music industry for about 15 years now, and I've always wanted to put something out, and the album itself actually probably took about a year and a half to put together. And that's, in a sense, how I came up with the name A Long Time Coming, because it's something that I've been wanting to put together and get out there for quite a long time.
So it's, a long time coming. Is that kind of like an accomplishment of something you just dream of doing one day?
Yeah, I mean, when I was creating the album, I mean, I had a lot of music and I wasn't sure what I wanted to put on it, and then basically just had so many songs, and then just started rifling through these songs, and then just started finishing them as I was going along. And the biggest thing that I wanted to do with it is I wanted to create this journey of sound, I wanted to start it off nice and mellow, and then as it builds up, and then when the album finishes, it's kind of like this journey. So it starts you off and then takes you up high, brings you back down, and takes you back up again. So that's kind of the mood and that I wanted to create. So hopefully when people listen to it and when they listen to some of the tracks on there, that's, in a sense, that's how they feel.
I purchased it a couple days ago, and I can't get enough of it.
I really appreciate that.
I'm hooked.
Nice.
You did your job. Good job.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Now, the first song we're going to hear from you is Home Alone. Can you tell us a little bit more about that track?
Yeah, I tried to do something a little bit differently with that track. When you listen to the album, there's a wide variety of genres on there. There's some ambient on there. There's some ambient hip hop. There's some down tempo. There's a little bit of house, and this track is kind of excuse me. This track is a little more deep house, and the inspiration to that song actually came to me at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning when I was home alone. And I just started with a rolling bass line. I just started building some beats on top of it, and then I was pretty happy with the way it ended up. So.
Do you find that most of your music is you get your inspiration like at 3 o'clock in the morning, or is this just like a one-time deal?
Well, the interesting thing is the nicest thing about having your own studio is that you can get up in the middle of the night, you can get up in the morning, it can be any time of day, and you can just go to your keyboard and you can just start plugging things away. So it's not even so much it's you get an inspiration at a certain time, it's just you feel a certain emotion at certain times, and that's in essence what influences your music.
When did you start creating music?
Well, as I mentioned, I've been in the industry probably for about 15 years. And I started back in the hip-hop days. And I really started seriously getting into producing music probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I was producing music back when I was in a group called Play School, back with a few friends. But we didn't actually produce the music ourselves. We went to a studio and we paid somebody else to do it all for us. And now I have that ability. You know, it's just the flexibility of sitting down and just creating music whenever you want. And it's something that means a lot to me. It's an emotional release, and you know, I just can't get enough of it.
Do you find that your best work comes at the end of the day, or during the day, or just those odd moments?
It's kind of those odd moments when you know, maybe you're sitting there watching TV, or maybe, you know, just as you're about to fall asleep or something like that, or maybe it's a certain situation that you encounter over a period of a day that just it inspires you, or it creates a certain emotion, and then you try to develop that in music.
Now, when did you start putting out music as DJ Jaspa?
I've only actually had the name of Jaspa probably for about 4 years now. And so this was actually my first project, and the first album that I've actually put out. But I'm actually working with a couple of guys right now, and we're going to be releasing some trance tracks over the next little while. So
I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
So it's in the works, but not there yet.
Not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm actually also working with another girl right now. She actually sung on Wonderful World. Her name is Tracy Moore, and she's a fantastic, really, really good singer here, very, very talented here in Vancouver. And we're working on a joint album project, and we're going to try and do something with, kind of give it a sound of like Thievery Corp or Propeller Heads or Enigma, just like a really nice down-tempo, inspirational, just real emotional album. So
now on your album, I noticed it had the saying "Inspiration Sound for Globe Purification." What does that mean?
Basically, when people listen to my music, I want it to kind of inspire them, or maybe release a certain emotion inside them. I mean, there's a lot of music out there, and I'm one of those types of people. I don't listen to a lot of radio, because I find that a lot of the music out there is people are creating it just for the sake of making money, and I find there's a lot of bubblegum kind of music out there. So the type of music that I put out is I want people to feel inspired from it. For example, that track Wonderful World, the song is essentially about some of the problems that exist in other parts around the world.
unjust, you try to be a little more sympathetic and do what you can to set free an abundance of children less fortunate than us. Or close your eyes and ears, cause it's not your problem. What fuss? What kind of thought hard as that? It's a fact. People are dying. You're not gonna give back. Yo, you're not even trying. Shame on you, you and you. Screw your damn crew. I ain't lying. What a pathetic world we live in. Can't lift a finger, but you keep buying your fancy cars. Versace suits don't even give it a second thought. Don't worry about those kids that just died. It really wasn't your fault. How are you supposed to know the money you spent on that outfit? Could have fed a village or two. It's true. Do you doubt it? Thousands of children die every day. How does that make you feel? More of an appreciation, pay attention. I'm for real. So what do you think now? You're gonna make an attempt? Put away that change in your pocket before it gets spent. That's all it takes. One day at a time. A penny can go a long way, but the most important thing is you're paying attention. Now you're trying today. So what do you say? You're gonna spend another dollar on yourself, or are you gonna facilitate a plan to help somebody else?
What kind of challenges do you find as an independent artist?
Well, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things to it. I mean, when you get signed to a record company, you know, you get X amount of money that you can produce more albums and do marketing and have big marketing dollars and promotion and set up tours and things like that. As an independent artist, you do pretty much everything yourself. You do all your own marketing, you do all your own promotion. You find your own gigs, and so I mean those are some of the biggest challenges. But one of the nicest thing about being an independent artist is you have the flexibility to do pretty much anything that you want. You know, there's a lot of systems and a lot of resources available to independent artists. Like, for example, you know, Techtronic. I mean, as an independent artist, you meet people like yourself who wants to promote and wants to help independent artists, and there's so many resources available to us in this day and age, and you don't necessarily need the record companies anymore.
With things like GarageBand and iSound and various resources like that, you don't need anything.
Yeah, it's actually interesting that you mentioned GarageBand, because the track Home Alone is actually their number 6 is on their their all-time charts of house. So it's actually on their number 6 spot. So
there you go. It's a good song. Deserves to be on there.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
So where can we find your album?
Well, I did release my album on a worldwide distribution label, an independent distributor by the name of The Orchard. And you can pretty much find my album. It's available on my website. It's available on thousands of websites across the globe. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it on MSN, Yahoo, AOL, Amazon. It's pretty much most music distribution sites across the world. You can pretty much pick up a copy of my album.
You gave it to one guy, and they just distributed it out to everyone for you?
Exactly.
Way cool.
They actually have licensing agreements with thousands of companies, like hundreds of companies all across the globe, and they basically, you pay them, and then what they do is they do digital distribution, physical distribution from all over the place. Yeah, and I just got an email the other day from a company down in the States that wants to license out a couple of my songs for ringtones as well.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You're walking down the street and you hear one of your songs go off somebody's cell phone. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not sure if you know as well that I also licensed out a couple of tracks to an Xbox game as well.
Really?
Just after my album came out, I contacted a company down in the States. They were looking for some music, and I've got a couple of tracks on. It's a game called Greg Hastings Paintball Tournament.
Uh-huh.
So I've got a couple of tracks on there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's wild. They sent me a copy and I've played it, and it's actually pretty cool. You're sitting there playing this game and you hear your music in the background.
I think that's just that's crazy.
It's a trip.
So what are you currently working on?
Well, I'm actually working on a couple of projects. As I mentioned earlier, I'm actually working on a CD with a girl by the name of Tracy Moore, and that's going to be a CD that's kind of going to be kind of like Propeller Heads and Thievery Corp, a nice down-tempo Buddha bar kind of sound. And I'm also working with a couple of really close friends by the name of Vaziran and Zarastra. They're a couple of DJs and trance producers, and we actually have a residency out here in Vancouver. And if you go to the website, which is heavennight.com, you can actually check out where we're going to be playing out together. And we've also got a couple of mix sets on there that you can listen to. And over the next little while, we're also going to be setting up an online trance radio stream. And we've got access to some of the biggest DJs across the globe. And we're going to be able to broadcast some of their sets, may even try and get some of those guys to play live on our site.
Very cool.
And hopefully over the next little while, we're going to be working on some music. We've already been working on some stuff. And hopefully you'll see some trance releases from us in the near future.
So what's this next song that you picked out for us?
The next track you're going to hear is Let's Dance, and I thought it would be a good way to finish the show. It's an upbeat track. It's got some French vocals on there by a girl by the name of Celine Poussin. And if you actually get a chance to pick up a copy of the album, she starts off the CD talking in French, and she actually finishes off in English. And in the song of Let's Dance, she actually breaks it down right in the middle. So hopefully people will pick up a copy of the album and figure out what she's saying at the end of the album.
capable d'invoquer des émotions en chacun de nous. Peu importe la musique que vous choisissez, comment elle vous fait vous sentir, elle sera toujours là, en vous. Alors fermez les yeux et écoutez les sons de toutes ces années. Le temps était long jusqu'ici. Et maintenant, je suis là pour rester. Le temps était long jusqu'ici. Et maintenant, je suis là pour rester.
Thanks for being with us, DJ Jaspa.
Thank you very much for having me, John.
And if you want more information about his music, you can check it out online at techtronicsound.com or at his site, which is
www.djjaspa.com, and that's Jaspa. You can also check out www.heavennight.com with one N as well.
Would you mind doing the honors?
Absolutely. If you like this podcast, tell all your friends. If you don't, tell all your enemies.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next week on another episode of Techtronic Sound. I butchered that.
Oh, it sounded good.
Did it? Oh.
Yes.
Any more information about Techtronic Sound can be found online at techtronicsound.com.
Any comments about the podcast, want to say hi, or make trance, dance, or techno music, you can send those to techtronicsound@gmail.com.
Techtronic Sound syndicated through Libsyn Syndication. For more information about their service, you can find them online at libsyn.com.
Techtronic Sound is also associated with the Freedom for Independent Music Radio. Let the freedom ring.